Ready to open the hood? UseTool for the tutorials.
And for car parts, the right idea is the Mr. Auto app. Easy, fast, and with better prices than on the website.
You can find the complete exhaust line from the easy-to-fit kit by Faurecia, used in the video, through the link in the description. Turn your engine off, pull up the handbrake, pull on the bonnet release lever and open the bonnet. Unplug the battery. To change the exhaust line on your vehicle, you will have to alternate between lifting the front and back ends. You can also completely lift it off the ground if you have the necessary equipment. We strongly suggest watching the tutorial, raising your vehicle safely before carrying out this step. A rusty, damaged, or overused exhaust line can mean that your vehicle fails its MOT. It is therefore recommended to change these parts preventatively. Depending on the state of the vehicle, the exhaust line can sometimes be so rusty that you will need to cut the accessories with an angle grinder. Start by removing the clamping clip that connects the muffler to the exhaust line. Pull on the muffler to separate it from the rest of the exhaust line. You can now release the silent block on the driver's side. Use a screwdriver to stretch the rubber and take it off the holding rod. Do the same on the passenger side. You can use a screwdriver to help stretch the rubber and take it off the holding rod. The muffler is now free. You can then remove it by pivoting it so that the rest of the exhaust line goes over the rear axle. You now have to remove the second part of the line. By following the exhaust line to the front of the vehicle, identify the lambda sensor that is located just before the exhaust flange. Disconnect it first by pushing down on the holding spur and then pulling on it. Once unplugged, using a 22mm spanner, unscrew the sensor and remove it so as to not damage it when removing the exhaust line. Using a socket wrench and a 13mm socket, unscrew the two lug nuts on the exhaust flange. Once the flange on the exhaust line is free, all while holding the line, move to the center of the vehicle and remove the silent block from the holding rod. You can now push the line backwards and remove it completely.
Please support us. Subscribe and like the video, that will be really cool.
Using a flathead screwdriver, remove the used watertight ring on the catalytic converter. The easy-to-fit kits by Faurecia are split into several parts, which makes it possible to assemble the entire exhaust line easily, safely, on your own, without needing specific equipment. The kits come with all the accessories needed for assembly, adapted to the line in question. This means you do not have to worry about missing parts or compatibility issues which might stop you from completing the operation. Start by taking the part with exhaust line flange and the silent blocks applied with the kit. Grease it to make it easier to install and put it in place on the exhaust muffler. Take the straight tube supplied in the kit as well as the adapter sleeve. Install the sleeve on the tube. All while holding everything, you have to bring together the two blue marks on the tubes and slide the adapter sleeve so that the center links up with the contact point between the two tubes. Once properly in position and using a 13mm spanner, screw the two nuts on the adapter sleeve, which will make it possible to create a complete seal. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. As with any fitting accessories, install them in such a way so that there is no contact with the heat protection. Finally, take the curved tube supplied in the kit and the second adapter sleeve. As with the previous action, repeat the installation instructions for the sleeve and finish the tightening process off using a torque wrench. Your line is now ready to be installed. You can compare the line with the one previously removed to double-check the assembly. Then take the watertight ring supplied in the easy-to-fit kit and install it on the catalytic converter. Then start by hanging it off the central silent block. Then position the flange on the catalytic converter. Take the muffler springs and new screws for the exhaust flange. Screw the flange back in place with the screws, tightening them one by one, little by little, until you reach the end of the screwing threading. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Screw the lambda sensor onto the new line with a 22mm spanner, then connect it again. You now have to put the new muffler in place. Take the silent blocks provided in the easy-to-fit kit. Grease them to make them easier to install. And put them in place on the exhaust muffler. Take the tube supplied in the kit and the adapter sleeve. Install the sleeve on the tube. As with the previous action, repeat the installation instructions for the sleeve and finish the tightening process off using a torque wrench. You can now install the muffler. Slide the muffler into place and start by installing the silent blocks back in such a way so that the muffler hangs during the following operations. Once hanging from the two silent blocks, properly fit the muffler in place on the exhaust line. Once properly in place, take the clamping clip supplied in the easy-to-fit kit and install it on a point where the two lines touch. Using a socket wrench and a 13mm socket, screw in the clamping clip. Finish off the tightening with a torque wrench. Assembling your new exhaust line is now complete. Check that there are no contact points between the exhaust line and the heat shield. You can now put your vehicle back on the ground. Reconnect the battery. Operation completed.
Hello, if this video helped you, like and subscribe.